Okay, now let's take a look at this example. This is not from your textbook, so please copy it down. Okay, now if the question tells you y varies directly as x when y equals to 8t, then x equals 20. Okay, part A, express y in terms of x. Part B, find the value of y when x equals to 50. Okay, this is a very simple question. Some of you may be able to finish it without writing any steps. Okay, but now I should tell you how to present properly and get all the marks in the exam. Okay, now so for every questions related to direct variation, we always start from this. Okay, since part A, since the question told us that y directly vary as x, okay, so pay attention here. This thing, this symbol looks like a fish, okay, and also looks like the symbol infinity without the right end closing, So these symbols, you can draw it like this, or you can draw it like this. Means directly vary. Okay? So we always start from this step, y directly vary as x, because y directly vary as x. Therefore, we understood it implies that y equals to some unknown constants times x, while this unknown constants does not equal to 0. And also pay attention to the k here. We refer this k as the variation constants. The variation constants. Okay, pay attention to this one. The variation constants must not be 0. Okay, it can be 1, it can be negative, but it cannot be 0. It must have value. Okay, so y, because y directly vary as x, therefore y equals to kx. This is what we obtained from the questions, and be aware that this k, this unknown constants, must not be 0. And then next, since x equals to 20 and y will equals to 80, therefore 80 equals to k times 20. Okay, we just substitute the corresponding value of x and y into this formula. Okay, then obviously k equals to 4. Then we can say that y equals to 4 times x, and this is part A finished. Okay, part A tells us to express y in terms of x, and we find out that y is actually equal to 4x. Then we accomplished the mission, the task. Okay, now part B, very easy. Because y equals to 4x when x equals to 50, therefore y will equals to 4 times 50, and hence equals to 200. That's all. Very easy example, right? Okay, now let's take a look on page 7. This is instant drill number 1. Okay, let's do it as an example. Suppose y varies directly as x. Suppose y vary directly as x. When x equals to 15, y equals to 45. Express y in terms of x. Find the value of y when x equals to 70. Okay, perhaps you can notice that this is exactly the same. This is exactly in the same format as the last example I given to you. This is very typical, very easy questions. Okay, let's tackle it together. Part A, y varies directly as x, because y vary directly as x. Okay, remember to say the sentence. Therefore, y equals to kx, where k must not equal to 0. Okay, please pay attention to this presentation every time you have to write it down. Okay, and because x equals to 15, y equals to 45. Therefore, 45 equals to k times 15, and by easy calculation we find out that k equals to 3, and put it back to this formula. We have y equals to 3x. That's all for part A. Now part B, because y equals to 3x and x equals to 70, therefore y equals to 3 times 70, and hence equals to 210. That's all. Okay, now let's take a look on page 8, example number 2. Okay, actually this is not very different from the last two examples. Let's take a look together. It is given that b directly varies as x. Okay, now the question gave us a symbol instead of word description. B directly varies as x as a when a equals to 3, b equals to 75. Find the value of a when b equals to 225. Okay, so let's take it together. We follow exactly the same steps as the last questions. Since b vary directly as a, therefore b equals to some constant k times a, and this constant must not be 0. K must not be 0. Since when a equals to 3, b will be 75. Then we put it back. 75 equals to k times 3, and we have k equals to how many? 25. K equals to 25, right? Yes, 25. Therefore, b equals to 25 times a. And now the question challenges that when b equals to 225, what will a be? Then we just put it back. 225 equals to 25 a. Okay, then we can have a equals to 9. Simple calculation, right? So now you can see if we follow all the steps like the two previous examples, then it is very easy questions. Okay, after having a look on the 3 examples I give you, it's time for you to work. Okay, now please finish exercise 6A, question 1 to 9. Please. Okay, we'll continue after you finish these 9 questions.